Absolutely extraordinary.
What's up guys, Manime here, and today we are doing my second episode of Awesome Anime Pilot. Thank God I got a better name for that. And today we are reviewing what I think may be one of the best pilots in anime, and that is Plastic Memories. Now, Plastic Memories is an anime created by Doga Koba that takes on some seriously deep questions, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So thank God exposition can be given to you in more than one way, because this anime needs a decent bit of exposition in order for you to comprehend what the fuck is going on in this world. Now the first thing they tell you is that this anime is set a decent bit into the future, and this is actually told through the scenery. Or a fun fact, if you want to sound like a suck-up little bitch, you can actually call it the mise-en-scène. The last thing we see is our main character riding the elevator with Isla before cutting to the intro. After the intro, we see our main character once again, but this time in a suit and tie, walking into the same building. This helps us connect the idea that he was previously there for some sort of job interview and must have gotten it. To me, this is honestly excellent. There was no interview scene, there was no "you're hired" scene. All we see is a character entering a building twice, but thanks to excellent directing and storytelling, they managed to get the point across that he got a job there without hitting the viewer over the head with a fucking exposition stick. Our main character asks where his office is to the front desk, and you get this hilarious, over-the-top scene to reveal that it's actually a small-ass building in the back parking lot of the tower itself. Seeing the building, he is dumbfounded. This ridiculous contrast with the tower stays the same when he enters the building due to the fact that it is essentially a normal building with no insane technologies inside of it. This is a very important detail that the director threw in to help you comprehend what this anime is going to be about. The director is letting us know through mise-en-scène that the technology in this anime is actually going to be taking a back seat in this particular story without directly telling us to our face. In this scene, we get essentially the bulk of the exposition. We learn that Giftias are androids that are essentially indistinguishable from humans except for the fact that they only live for 9 years and 4 months. We also learn when they go past that age, Giftias essentially deteriorate mentally. Therefore, their job at the firm is to retrieve the ones that are on the brink of that time period and delete their memories, which essentially kills the Giftia. Now, I have to admit, I generally don't like exposition that's told to our face, but it's Tsusaka's first day, so it does kind of make sense why we are learning this stuff. This is when Isla enters the room. The section chief suggests that Isla and Tsusaka work together since retrieval teams work with one human and one Giftia, and there's a little bit of drama showing that one of the characters is really defensive of Isla, but Isla ends up agreeing, and that ends our first act. The second act begins a little strangely when Isla and Tsusaka talk for the first time. Isla acts like a robot in hopes of keeping him at arm's length, but it merely turns into like an awkward or at best comical situation. Then one of my least favorite tsundere characters in anime shows up, telling him it's time to start training. Now, I would go into depth about why she's a terrible character, but I'm gonna make a video on that sometime in the future, or you can just look at my past videos. They then begin their A, B, and C part storylines once they get out. The A story being the easiest retrieval, and the C story being the hardest retrieval. I really do enjoy the fact they did this, because they could have easily just turned this into a montage, but they went the extra mile and made sure we could understand just how different this job could be with different people. So let's start where they start, with the A storyline. The first Giftia goes without any trouble, and it's a pretty heartfelt moment. They establish just how rough it can be on people who have been taking care of them. The first retrieval is mostly to show the audience just how sad of a job it is, and the basic mechanics of how a retrieval is done. The second Giftia retrieval is like the middle of the road retrieval, whereas the previous retrieval was to show the mechanics of how it was done. This time it was Isla and Tsusaka's job to do it. This is where we finally get to see that Isla is essentially a human. She is unbearably nervous to the point where Tsusaka has to press the doorbell for her. This is to show that she does in fact have emotions and is merely just trying to mask them. Everyone realizes that the Giftia and the human are trying to run away, and they give chase. And in this scene, we get like a comical reveal that even though Isla is an android, she does not have super strength. The director is trying to show us that these characters are real, that they have souls, they have feelings, and that they really are human except for the difference in lifespan. The final retrieval of the week is getting a Giftia named Nina from the old lady who refuses to see them. As the time gets closer and closer, she continues to block them out. On the final day, they are once again rejected, but Isla decides to break in anyway, because that's legal. This is when we find out Nina is actually a child. Because if you want to make it hurt, that's the best way to do it. The next scene is basically what I call the most important scene in the entire anime. Tsusaka tries to reassure the old lady that, hey, there are other alternatives, like 30% off new Giftias, or more importantly, importantly, we can load a new soul onto Nina's old body. This is when she explodes, explaining that Nina is not only a body or a mechanical tool, that Nina is her family. This cuts to Sokka deep because for the first time he really has to deal with and try to understand that his job is essentially to come and take away other people's family members. The next scene is in the bathroom with Ayla and Nina talking. Nina explains that she knows it's time for her to go. She says she wants to stay, but she would rather leave her grandma with a smile instead of deteriorating and causing her grandma even more pain. It's the essential question of die quick and soon or live long and suffer. The grandma overhears these conversations and finally gives in. There's an extremely heartfelt moment with these two as they say goodbye. The final part of this anime is some comic relief because god, do you fucking need it bad at this point. As I previously said, this anime is probably one of the best first episodes in anime I've ever seen. If you haven't seen this anime yet, please at least just watch the first episode just to get a better comprehension of what I've been talking about. This anime establishes a high-tech world, the fact that the tone of this anime will be focusing on the story more so than the tech, a niche job inside that world, and these human/androids named Giftias. We also get to see how their job is done, and what are some of the extents they have to go through in order to get it done. Not to mention we get to see the ethic problems their jobs have that unfortunately have to be done. We also get to learn a bit about Ayla, who is a Giftia and fears death, and questions whether or not making memories is worth it if you're only going to be deleted and replaced. Several points in the show, she brings up the fact that she has this mindset that as long as she's working, she has a reason to live. Otherwise, her existence will be pointless. The anime is very clearly a metaphor for the human problems we experience with the idea of religion removed. Whereas we don't know when we're gonna die and Giftias know the day they're born, not to mention Giftias don't get the idea of religion because they know that they are fabricated and deleted like files off computers. Looking at death from a purely non-religious point, humans face many of the same problems, especially when one is ill with some sort of fatal illness. This anime is showing us how different people deal with the inevitability of their death or the death of a loved one. Not to mention that we get to see all this roll out in the anime from what is essentially the perspective of the Grim Reaper. I would explain some more of the philosophy in this anime, but that's in further episodes, and I think I'll leave that for you guys to find out. Anyway, I just want to show how many deep philosophical questions this anime asks while establishing locations, characters, niche jobs in their world, and all kinds of other crazy stuff. As usual, I just wanted to bring attention to the fact that all this is done in a mere 24 minutes. I hope you guys liked this video. Make sure you guys share, like, comment, subscribe, and always double tap that motherfucker. This is Manime. Make sure you guys say, man, go watch that goddamn anime!